most people would know that I've just, well, not just, kind of, like 4 months ago, had baby number 6. And what was very interesting about this is because obviously I've experienced, the whole pregnancy process a few times, so I kind of see myself as a pro now, and I'm sincere. Um, but I realized that I think my biggest issue with pregnancy is that after each one I get more and more tired. So like my last one, I couldn't stand up for more than 5 minutes. Seriously, it was really bad. But um, I came to church one day and I received a message, and they told me that the angels came and my pregnancy will be easy. My babies usually come very quickly, as in like very quickly. My pregnancy will be easy. I mean, my labor will be easy. They've sorted out the whole process for me, all of that good stuff. So I said, okay, they gave me some work to do, which I did. And then I remember one day I received a teaching, and in the teaching, I was by my papa. He was basically saying that how the education of this world usually contradicts what God says. And like a couple of days after that, when I went to have a scan, I remember the midwife was like, "Oh my God, your baby is too big," and that's one of my biggest fears. Some of my sisters will know. And they were like, "No, your baby's too big." So like you have a scale and it gives you the point of the size of your baby, and the size was off the scale. So I was like, I am finished, and it was mad. So I was just like, God, what is this? You told me that this whole situation will be simple. So how can they be telling me that my baby's too big and I'm gonna have a C-section, etc. So I prayed about it, and I went back to Baba just to kind of update him, and he basically just told me to take some church oil, and it's very disgusting, by the way. I'm not seriously. I went to a scan like a day after, and they were like, "Oh, they made a mistake. That the baby's normal, fine, everything is fine, the size is okay." I said, "Okay, great." So day came to when I was in labor, and I could feel the baby come in, and my body just I kind of like become a robot when I'm in labor. I just kind of, okay, I know that this baby's coming. I have to process my body. I don't know if that makes sense. I knew the baby was coming. So we called the ambulance. Obviously, we have a few kids at home, so my husband had to leave my kids. We called the ambulance. They came, but when I got in the ambulance, I wasn't having contractions anymore. As in, there was nothing, no movement, nothing. And the lady was just like, don't worry, you'll be okay. And when they do that, it's kind of like they're trying to say something. So I was like, okay, but I was just saying that I'm kind of concerned because I was having contractions and I knew this baby should come within 2 minutes, but the baby's still in my belly, so I don't understand that. So when I got to the hospital, I was there for a while, and they were just kind of taking it easy with me because nothing was happening. So a doctor came in, and one of the things so I'll try to speed this up. One of the things that I really don't like about that hospital is that they're very racist, and the first thing they want to do is give you a C-section. That's just how it is in that hospital. So the first doctor came in, and it was a black lady, and I thought, oh, okay, at least I have some support. The lady came, she checked me, she said, "Oh, your baby's head is to the side, so yeah, you're gonna have a C-section." And I was just like, yeah, this woman has lost it. I said, okay. And then I was just thinking that, God, you told me so many things, and I already know that my process is easy, so how can I be having all of this? This is baby number 6. I've done this how many times? Like, as in, the mental torture was just too bad. The lady came, so when she said that, I said, okay. And then I called my sister, and why I called her was because I think I wanted to have an understanding of the science. I feel like I knew the spiritual side. I've done all the things I needed to do, what we're given to do, I've done that. But the science of how a body, like how the baby tries to come out, I felt like, okay, maybe I'm missing something. So she was just basically telling me that the best way for you to, or for them to kind of avoid a C-section from the perspective of a midwife, is for you to push, and then the water breaks and the baby comes out. that's like a, sailing process kind of thing. So in my mind, I was just like, okay, I need my water to break and I need this baby to come out. So from then on, I started pushing. Obviously, you're not meant to just push anyhow, but I just said, okay, you want my water to break? Yeah, I'm pushing so the baby can come. I was pushing, nothing was happening. I was like, okay. So we were going on, and I was just, so like, I'll have a contraction, then I'll stop and ask her a question. Then I have a contraction, okay, stop, ask her a question. Okay, maybe I should change my body, whatever. So, so I called my husband, and I basically updated him with everything that was going on. And he told me that, remember to take your water, to drink water, as in pray on the water, just drink it. And I was just like, oh yeah, what's wrong with me? And I think when you're in a moment of stress, you kind of forget everything. So I took a glass of water and I basically said that as you led the Israelites and you parted the sea, just let this baby flow out. So after that, another doctor came in, a man, and he said he wanted to check me. I said, okay. So he checked me and he said, oh, just stand up. If you stand up, the baby will come out. And I said, excuse me? Okay. He said, no, just stand up and don't worry. Let's give it some time and the baby will come. So I stood up and I was just like, okay. So I started pushing, and I think because I hadn't gone through that experience of that extended labor, it was difficult. So I stood up and like 5 minutes I started pushing. And then the midwife that was with me, she was just looking at me, but the way she was looking at me was like, like, as in, this girl's not going to give birth, so she just, as in, they're meant to help you and be your support. But she was just like, literally, she was just standing there, and I'm here struggling. I said, okay. So anyway, she was watching me, and I told her, look, this baby's coming now. She said, no. She said, no, the baby's not ready, I said, can you come and check me, please, because I can feel it, this baby's coming now. So she said, fine. So she checked me. She said, oh, your tent said to me to push. I said, that's what I've been doing since. So when she now said push, I just composed myself, and I pushed, and like, as I pushed, like, the water broke. Sorry to be so graphic. The water just broke, and like, the baby just came out. And, there were like no tears or nothing like that. And that whole experience, it just showed that even though you can be comfortable in a particular thing because God continuously does something for you, challenges may come, but you need to remember everything you've been given to do to kind of keep you going. So yeah, that was like my testimony. And honestly, after that pregnancy, I feel like how I was before the twins. And my body, my system is like I was before the twins. So hallelujah.